episode 2521 of the number one podcast and Apple Podcast for job search. You are listening to or watching No BS Job Search Advice Radio. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. You know, C-suite executives need some advice too. And I've got one of those tough interview questions for those of you who are in leadership for when you interview. Hope you find this one helpful, and please give the show a great review wherever you listen to it or watch it. It does help other people discover it. And you can share it with different people. You can share it with your LinkedIn profile. Say, this guy seems to be pretty good. And I also have to tell you, visit my website, thebiggamehunter.us. There's a ton in the blog that can help you. Plus, you can find out about my courses, books, and guides. Schedule time for a paid coaching session with me. I'd love to help. And meanwhile, we'll be back in just one moment. What is the most difficult part of your job as an executive? I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. People hire me for no BS career advice, which could involve a job search and much more. And for those of you who are in the C-suite, for those of you who are senior leaders, you already know that so much of your job involves persuasion. And thus, it's not just what you say that matters, it's how you say it. And thus, if you're asked this question, I think it's important to be theatrical, to perform in a way that communicates your ideas effectively, so that your behavior is congruent with what you say. For example, if asked this question, you might just respond by saying, and that's part of the act. That's part of being persuasive, because what you're doing is conveying that this is a hard answer. And thus you might start off by saying, business has challenges to it. And part of my job as an executive is making quick decisions that will have a consequence for the business a couple of years out. Now, where I have time for consideration and can bring multiple people into the equation, that will make it easier because I have time to weigh options. But often I don't have time. And I have to think like it's a three-dimensional chess match. If I do this, what's going to happen there and there? If I do that, what's going to happen here, 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 and here? That will affect the business, affect the department, affect the organization. So I would say the biggest challenge I run into, the most difficult part of my job, is being accurate a few dimensions out, a few stages out. Not just simply the next thing, but the three things after that in so many parts of the universe that we deal with that is going to minimize risk and maximize return. Again, it's not just simply what you say, but it's the pained look on your face as you talk about it that talks about the difficulty that exists for those in that seat, that only they understand. Because if you sound like everyone else, well, you're not really distinguishing yourself. But if you stand out in a way where you're looking someone square in the eye, like I'm doing with you right now, after doing that deep sigh that I did at the beginning, and talk about, it's so important to think in multiple dimensions, that if I make this decision, these 5 things will probably occur, and then there are things after that for each of those 5 that will probably occur that are going to impact the business. That's the most difficult part of the job for you. I'm Jeff Altman. Hope you found this helpful. Again, people hire me for no BS career advice that can relate to a job search, hiring more effectively, management leadership, career transitions, workplace issues. You can find out much more about me at my website, thebiggamehunter.us. You can schedule time for a free discovery call, schedule time for coaching, visit the blog. There's just thousands of posts there that'll help you. Plus, I've got courses, books, and guides. Again, thebiggamehunter.us. Connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/The Big Game Hunter. Have a terrific day and be great.